Welcome back. There were massive protests outside Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwantmann's home in Sangrur today.
Hundreds of agricultural labourers gathered near the Patiala Bhatinda road in Sangrur. They were protesting under the flag of Sanja Mazdoor Morcha. The labourers demanded an increase of minimum daily wages to 700 rupees under Manrega. Raising slogans against the Punjab government, the labourers marched towards the Chief Minister's home. They claim the CM had refused to meet them, leaving them no choice but to go to him. But when the protesters were a few meters away from Mann's home, police swooped down. Police started using force on the labourers and also resorted to lathi charging them. Sangrur's SP was caught on camera hitting the protesters and directing other cops.
Bilkis Bano moved the Supreme Court today challenging the early release of 11 men convicted of gang raping her and killing her entire family in the 2002 Gujarat riots. In her petition, Bilkis Bano said the decision on releasing the men should be taken by Maharashtra, where the trial took place, instead of the state of Gujarat. The convicts were freed on 15th of August by the Gujarat government. The Enforcement Directorate questioned actor Vijay Devarakonda for 9 hours in connection with the funding of his Bollywood film Liger. The ED is probing possible foreign exchange violations in the production of the movie. The agency suspects illegal investments in the film and is investigating the alleged payments and source of funds for Liger.
కొన్ని క్లారిఫికేషన్స్ అడిగినారు చాలా మంచిగా వాళ్ళ జాబ్ వాళ్ళు చేస్తున్నారు వాళ్ళకి కావాల్సిన ఆన్సర్లు ఇచ్చినాము మీరు ఇంత ప్రేమిస్తారు ఆ ప్రేమతో వచ్చే పాపులారిటీ వల్ల కొన్ని ఇబ్బందులు ఉంటాయి కొన్ని సైడ్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ ఉంటాయి అందులో ఏదో ఒకటి బట్ ఇట్స్ అన్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఇట్స్ లైఫ్ అండ్ ఐ డిడ్ మై డ్యూటీ వెన్ ఐ వాస్ కాల్డ్ ఐ కేమ్ ఐ ఆన్సర్ ద క్వశ్చన్స్ అండ్ దట్స్ ఇట్ ఐ హావ్ టు సే
Karnataka's education minister is facing flack for seemingly downplaying bigotry that happened in a classroom in Manipal University.
Will you call him by the name of a terrorist?
This video, a Muslim student calling out his professor for referring to him as a 2611 terrorist, Kasab, is going viral.
Not funny, Islam terrorist. It's not funny.
And now Karnataka Education Minister B.C. Nagesh has sparked a storm by seemingly downplaying the incident.
The name of Ravana comes many times. You behave like Ravana. You behave like Shakuni. It doesn't become an issue at all. When you speak about Kashyap, it becomes an issue. I don't know.
The opposition has called out the minister over his remarks.
Will you call him by the name of a terrorist?
When a lecturer who's supposed to be the guiding light for any student calls a student of a particular community a militant, and the minister says it's okay.
The professor in question has been suspended by the Manipal University.
YSR Telangana party leader Y.S. Sharmila, who was arrested on Tuesday after she tried driving to the residence of Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao. She got bail today. She's expected to meet Governor Tamilisai Soundararajan and express anguish at the way that she was treated. Sharmila's car was stowed away with her inside it when she refused to step out of the vehicle.
This only showcases the tyranny in Telangana, the atrocities of the Chief Minister in Telangana. The people in the party of TRS are no more leaders or karyakartas, there are only gundas in the party. And the kind of crimes they commit is hideous.
The Indian Army is holding joint training exercises with the United States close to the China border, the line of actual control in Uttarakhand.
With the majestic mountains in the background, the troops train for unarmed combat. In this exercise, they are training to ferry casualties when all the road communication has been washed off. The joint exercise is held annually to exchange best practices, tactics, techniques and procedures between the armies of the two nations. Around 350 soldiers from each side are taking part in the drills around 100 kilometers from the line of actual control with China. China has already opposed the exercise, calling it an interference in the bilateral boundary issue. and a violation of agreement between New Delhi and Beijing that no military drill will be held near the LAC.
A petition challenging the ban on Popular Front of India was dismissed by the Karnataka High Court. The petitioner had argued that the centre had failed to justify the ban and that it curbs fundamental rights of minorities. The centre had ordered the ban back in September under the anti-terror law UAPA after a series of countrywide raids. Tamil Nadu's ruling party, the DMK, has moved the Supreme Court against the Citizenship Amendment Act. DMK claims that CAA is anti-Tamil because it keeps out from its purview Tamil refugees who came to India from Sri Lanka, where they faced linguistic and religious persecution as they were predominantly Hindu. The party also branded the act as arbitrary as it relates to just 3 countries and is confined to just 6 religions. An avalanche was reported in Himachal Pradesh after a glacier broke away near a village in Lahore and Spiti Valley.
A huge blanket of snow was seen barreling down the valley into the village below. Within seconds, the entire area was in the grip of a massive snowstorm. Strong winds were witnessed in the valley, causing disruption to normal life. But thankfully, there were no reports of damage or casualties. The avalanche occurred after a glacier broke away near a village in the Lahore and Spiti valleys. An avalanche occurs due to the breaking of a thick layer of snow, which then slides down a steep slope. This comes at a time when heavy snowfall is occurring in Himachal Pradesh, which has caused road blockades. Last week, at least 72 roads across the state were blocked due to heavy snowfall, 61 of which were in Lahore and Spiti.
India's GDP growth for the July to September quarter slowed down to 6.3% compared to 8.4% for the same period last year. The GDP growth was dragged down mainly by the poor performance of manufacturing and mining sectors. Despite this, India remains the fastest growing major economy in the world right now. China remains on edge as anger grows against the government's zero-COVID policy.
In the city of Guangzhou, locals clashed with police over the country's strict COVID rules. Police in white hazmat suits clutched riot shields to protect themselves from debris and glass thrown at them by protesters. Other videos showed cops swooping down on protesters and dragging them away in handcuffs. The latest unrest follows a wave of unprecedented protests witnessed in China since the weekend. In cities like Shanghai and Beijing, residents took to the streets demanding an end to the strict COVID measures. Some also called for President Xi to step down. China is the only country which continues to have a strict zero-COVID policy. Local authorities clamp down on even small outbreaks with mass testing, quarantines and snap lockdowns.
Former Chinese President Jiang Zemin, who led his country out of isolation after the crushing of pro-democracy protests in Tiananmen Square, has died. He was 96 years old. Jiang suffered from leukemia and multiple organ failure. He saw China through a revival of market-oriented reforms, the return of Hong Kong from British rule in 1997, and Beijing's entry into the World Trade Organization in 2001. Prince Harry's wife, Meghan Markle, was at the center of many threats made against her life, according to the former head of the counterterrorism department in the Metropolitan Police. He also called the threats against Meghan Markle disgusting and very real. The bombshell revelation comes at a time when Harry's estranged brother, Prince William, and his wife, Kate, are headed to the United States, where Harry and Meghan live. Brazilian football legend Pele has been hospitalized as he battles cancer. According to reports, he developed swelling, heart issues and mental confusion. The 82-year-old had a tumor removed from his colon in September last year, and he has since been in and out of hospital for treatment on a regular basis. The Iranian football team's defeat to the United States in the FIFA World Cup triggered an unusual celebration in the home country.
Iranians dancing on the streets, bursting crackers, honking car horns and celebrating the loss of their national football team in the FIFA World Cup. These scenes of jubilation are actually a show of protest. Iranians denounced the football team's participation in the World Cup at such a tumultuous time in the country. For the last 3 months, protests have been raging across Iran against the death of Mahsa Amini, who was killed in police custody by Iran's notorious morality police for not wearing her hijab in a proper manner. More than 300 people, including children, have been killed in the protests since September this year. In their own version of protest, the Iranian football team refused to sing the national anthem in their opening match. But they went back to singing it in the following matches, leaving citizens to believe that they represent the Iranian regime.